अंग से अंग मिले अरमा.
And go play.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunday with Brother Thomas. You are on Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV. My pleasure to be your host today. And as you know, every Sunday we have discussion about educational topics. And today we want to talk about the dangers of procrastination. And we all know that this is a serious serious issue that is plaguing our society today. And almost 1 in 5 of people living in the world are affected by this terrible disease, which is called procrastination. We know procrastination affects everybody. It affects teachers, it affects students, it affects general managers, it affects journalists, it affects even the members of our government. We all are called to really sit down and have a brainstorm on this thing before it can stop us. And before I continue, I would just like to let you know, as usual, that this program is not directed or intended towards somebody. It is for the sole purpose of education. We are here to educate ourselves. We are here to get help from each other, and I believe that you are going to appreciate the time that we are going to spend together. Before I dive into the topic, I would like us to listen to some music and to some commercial, and I will be back to break down this topic for us.
We import fresh kava from Fiji to Canada and distribute it to your doorstep anywhere in the world, Canada, internationally. From 112-gram bags, 224-gram bags to 448-gram bags. And new merchandise coming as well too. Tanawas, Sulus, Billows, everything Fiji. For all your fresh kava needs, visit bulakava.ca. bulakava.ca.
VK Auto Detailing, leaving your vehicle spotless and shiny. VK Auto Detailing specializes in interior and exterior hand wash and dry, vacuum and shampoo, cloth or leather seats, door panels, console compartments, dashboards, mats, cleaning your vehicle inside out, floor to the roof. Don't delay, call VK Auto Detailing now. Contracts also available for dealerships or individual. Contact Vinitha Reddy at 604-300-5095 or Bobby at 604-300-7204. VK Auto Detailing, servicing clients for many years in the Lower Mainland, British Columbia.
क्या आप घर खरीदना या बेचना चाहते हैं या जानना चाहते हैं कि ये सही समय है घर खरीदना या बेचना? इसके लिए आप सिटी टू सिटी रियल्टर प्रणीता चंद को कॉल कर सकते हैं. फोन 778-872-4708 पर. कस्टमर कर्टेसी के लिए प्रणीता चंद आपके लीगल फीस भी पे करेगी. फॉर ट्रस्टेड नेम इन बाइंग एंड सेलिंग योर प्रॉपर्टी, कॉल प्रणीता चंद, टॉप रियल्टर विद एक्सपीरियंस. फोन 778-872-4708.
Yes, get up and go. और आपको कहाँ पर जाना है? Niche Crystals and Amazing Jewelry में certified dealer of precious and semi-precious gemstones. Healing के लिए या तो decoration के लिए. अगर आपको gemstones चाहिए, crystal rocks चाहिए, check out the website www.nishca.com. McNish Narayan को कॉल कर सकते हैं at 604-788-0807 पर.
boy, आज फ्राइडे है, मुझे थोड़ा ग्रोक करे यार, कहाँ मिली चना कोना?
Worry नहीं, कॉल करो लाल्स कावा एंड ग्रोसरी. इलुम के लिए क्लीन वाका और लोवेना है $41 पाउंड.
तेरा बाबा की भी तो मांगे संगे ना?
हाँ, उनके लिए न्यूजीलैंड हला लैम्ब चॉप से $6.25 पाउंड, न्यूजीलैंड मटन है $5 पाउंड, किसावा $35 पाउंड.
अगर आपको हैंड क्लीन कावा चाहिए, वाका या लेवेना, बस कॉल कीजिएगा.
Mr. Elwin Lal in Linwood, Washington. Phone number 206-650-0897.
Your one-stop shop, Lal's Kava and Grocery.
Mr. Elwin Lal in Linwood, Washington.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in our studio in Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV. This is your host, Brother Thomas, in your favorite program, Sunday with Brother Thomas. Today we are talking about the dangers of procrastination, and we are going to develop this topic in 4 major points. The first point, we are going to have a common definition for what procrastination is all about, and in the second point, we are going to see why people procrastinate. What are the reasons that account for people's procrastinating projects? And on the third point, we are going to discuss about the effects, the negative effects and consequences of procrastination in our personal life and in the lives of people around us. And finally, we are going to try to come up with solutions. We are going to try to understand how we can remedy this situation that is called procrastination. Quickly, a definition of procrastination. Procrastination is the act of unnecessarily postponing decisions or actions, meaning that the problem is not the postponing itself, but the problem is unnecessary postponing. And we know that when we talk of postponing things, we are talking of putting off things till tomorrow, putting off till tomorrow. And we know the saying that goes like, tomorrow never comes, or delays are dangerous. And we need to always have this at the back of our mind. So what are the reasons why people procrastinate? There are lots of reasons, a variety of reasons. I have come up with about 10 or a dozen of reasons, but I'm sure there are many other reasons that can fall under this umbrella. The first reason why people procrastinate is because they deceive themselves into thinking that they have enough time. They have enough time. Actually, nobody owns time. You might own the most sophisticated watch in the world, but you don't own time. Time waits for nobody. Sometimes you might be given an assignment to submit in a month to come, and you say to yourself, oh, I have plenty of time. A month is lots of time. And before you realize it, 2 weeks have passed by. 3 weeks have gone. And sometimes you might have 3 weeks to submit an assignment, and you say, oh, it's enough time for me. This is a very small assignment that I can complete in 10 or 20 minutes, so 3 days is enough, only to realize that the 3 days are around the corner. So we need to understand that time waits nobody. We were all given the same amount of time in a day, 24 hours. Everybody have the same amount of time. 24 hours is for everybody, the rich, the poor, the educated, the less educated, the smartest and the less intelligent. We all have 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, 30 days in a month, and 365 days in a year. So nobody has more time than the other person. But the difference comes from the fact that some people manage their time wisely, while other people manage their times very loosely, because they deceive themselves into thinking that time is a cycle. Yes, it's true to some degree. To some degree, time is a cycle, because Monday will come and there will be another Monday. January will come, there will be another January. It is a cycle, but it is not a cycle as such. Time is linear. Linear in the sense that once it is gone, you cannot get it back. You cannot get it back. Lost time cannot be regained. as such, because there will be, it's true, another September, but it will not be September 2021. It will be called September 2022 or September 2023. September 2021 is gone. It is gone. It will never come back again. So we need to know how we manage our time. We need to know how we manage our time. You can't imagine how much stuff can be achieved in 24 hours. In 24 hours, lots of things can be achieved. More than 10,000 babies were born just today. More than 10,000 tons of crop goods were delivered in a factory. So much can be done in 24 hours, and yet you feel that 24 hours is not anything. You feel that you can waste it as you want, as you please. This mindset needs to be changed. So we need to understand that procrastination is a thief of time. Procrastination is a thief of times because tomorrow never comes. We are going to listen to some music and some commercial, and we will be back in this studio. I hope you feel good about this topic.
मोर्गेज इंश्योरेंस लेना है, बच्चे की पढ़ाई के लिए या बच्चों के लिए पैसा बचाना है, रिटायरमेंट के लिए सेविंग्स करना है, RESP लेना है या तो क्रिटिकल इलनेस इंश्योरेंस लेना है। बीमारी कब किसको पकड़ ले क्या पता। बस अरुण चंद को अभी कॉल कीजिए और इंश्योरेंस का जो मसला है वो आपका हल हो जाएगा। चंद फाइनेंशियल में अरुण चंद को कॉल कीजिए 604-506-8234 पर। चंद फाइनेंशियल आपके लिए हाजिर है।
All right, we are back into the studio. We are discussing procrastination, and this is your Sunday show with Brother Thomas. And I don't know how you feel about this topic that we are discussing today. If you have some comments or you have some contribution to make, please feel free to write to us or even to text message us at 604-427-0291. Again, 604-427-0291. You are on Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV, and you are at the right place. A place to be. So we want to talk now about the reason why people procrastinate. I gave you the first reason. People think they have lots of time. The second reason, which is very, very similar to the first reason, is that some people are waiting for the perfect time before they will do what they have to do. They are waiting for the perfect time. There is nothing like the perfect time, my friend. If you wait for all the conditions to be met before you do what you have to do, then you might wait forever. As we know, the ancient book tells us that if you look at the clouds, if you look at the weather, if you look at the firmament before you can sow a seed, then you might never sow, because all the atmospheric condition might not be put together for you to complete the assignment that you were called to complete. So you need to challenge yourself, and you need to disregard the circumstances around you and create your own circumstances in order to achieve that result that you want to achieve, and within the deadline, within the timeline. The third reason why people procrastinate is because their life is a life of endless excuses. A life of endless excuses. I know somebody, and this is an imaginary person, somebody by name Johnny, who is good at procrastinating his assignments. On Monday, you ask Johnny, why didn't you do your assignment? And Johnny will tell you, I didn't want to be wet. It was raining. I didn't want to be dead. All right, good. You did not want to be wet. We understand that. On the following day, which would be Tuesday, and you ask Johnny, Johnny, have you completed your assignment? No. Why haven't you? Oh, it was too sunny and I didn't want the scorching heat to burn my skull. Oh, wow, another reason. And the second day, the third day, Johnny, why didn't you do your assignment? Johnny would say, oh, I had a bad cold and I was feeling like to have a rest. The fourth day and the fifth day and the sixth day, Johnny keeps giving excuses upon excuses, and a whole week has come and gone, and Johnny's assignment is still left undone because Johnny keeps finding excuses. You know, President Franklin Roosevelt once said that whoever is good at finding excuses will seldom be good at achieving anything. Whoever is good at finding excuses would seldom be good at achieving anything. Where there is a will, the old saying say, there is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. When you don't want to do something, you will look for excuses. But when you want to do it, you will find a way. Definitely, you will find a way. You will make time. You will challenge yourself. You will challenge your circumstances. You will even challenge nature because you want to achieve what you have to achieve. So no matter how tight your schedule might be, there is always time. You can create time to finish that assignment on time. The ancient wisdom says in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 4, that he who observes the wind, I was talking about it a couple of seconds ago. He who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the cloud will not reap. This means if you are waiting for all the ideal conditions to be met before you can do what you are supposed to do, then you are in serious danger. So think about it. Let this be food for thought as we listen to this commercial and this music. Thank you.
Sure where to go and what to do. Looking for the best travel deals? Contact the travel people at Sohi Vacations. Phone 604-503-0440. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can trust and book your trip through SohiVacations.com. With 37 years of experience, you'll get the best deals with the best customer service. Call now 604-503-0440. Sohi Vacations, your travel people. SohiVacations.com.
All right, we are back here in our studio in Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV. You are listening to your favorite Sunday show, Sunday with Brother Thomas. And today we are talking about procrastination. In case you are just joining us, we define procrastination as the act of always postponing decisions or action unnecessarily. So the problem is not with the postponing, but the problem is the fact that we do it when there is no reason to do it. And we also establish that many are affected by procrastination. There might be teachers, there might be students, there might be government workers, there might be workers in a corporation, there might be our parents, there might be our neighbors or ourselves. Many are affected by procrastination. And we are debating or discussing the reasons why people procrastinate what they have to do. And we just came up with three points that we have developed. The first reason was that people deceive themselves into thinking that they have lots of time when actually they don't. Time flies and times wait for nobody. You might have the most expensive watch in the world, but you don't own time. Nobody owns time. And we need to keep at the back of our mind that we all have the same amount of time in a day, 24 hours. In a day, 7 days in a week, 30 days in a month, 365 days in a year. But once a year has come and gone, some people can boast of having achieved so much while others have barely achieved anything. But they all had the same amount of time. What made the difference was in time management. The second reason we said it, which is very similar to the first, is that some people wait for the perfect time. They wait for the perfect time before they can do what they want to do. If you are waiting for all the ideal conditions to be met, to be put together before you do what you have to do, then you might never do it, because there might never be all the perfect condition put together to favor you, even though in some cases it might be, but in most of the cases it's not the case. So we also established that the third reason why people procrastinate is because they live an endless life of excuses. Excuses, somebody said, are rationalization we make to ourselves about people, events, and circumstances. Excuses are invented reasons we create to defend our behavior, to postpone taking action, or simply as a means of neglecting responsibility. Are you living a life of endless excuses? Can you be honest with yourself and acknowledge that you fall under this category? If that is the case, it is high time to stop it and get on the task. Stop fooling around and develop some seriousness with what you have been called to do. He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else, President Benjamin Franklin of the United States said. The fourth reason why people procrastinate is they don't give the right order of priority. It is good to watch that TV soap. It is good to watch all those videos and those cartoons. It is good to always be glued to your phone or the social medias, trying to know what is happening in the world. But is that the priority? If that is not the priority, please put the things in the right order. Put the things in perspective and know what is the priority. You cannot spend your time watching other people on the television when you have a vision. If you have a vision, you need to feed your vision. Otherwise, your vision will die and you will watch somebody who fed their vision on the television. And this is something you don't need to joke with, because it is about your life. It is about your future. It is about your future. You need to define what is the topest priority in your life. If you are a student, your priority is your studies, because that is your profession. If you are a worker, your priority is your work. Whatever is your priority should come first, and every other things should come after that. The fifth reason why people procrastinate is because because of laziness. Let me put it that way. Laziness. You know, lazy people would seldom admit that they are lazy. They would tell you, I am on an energy-saving mode, which is a good sounding English. But they are deceiving themselves into not admitting that they are just driven by laziness. And we need to overcome laziness. And the best way to overcome laziness is to start working. It is as simple and as basic as that. Procrastination is a strong indication that someone lacks purpose or lacks motivation, and that is the sixth reason. Lack of purpose and lack of motivation. Nobody becomes a champion by procrastinating. Listen to the champions, those who have succeeded in life, and get them to tell you their stories. You will be so shocked how they had to train themselves. They had to put their bodies under subjection 24/7 in order to achieve the great feats that they have achieved. For some people, it is just a lack of discipline or troubleshooting. They can't focus. They can't focus. They lack discipline. For example, let me give you this example. A person who lacks discipline in when to go to bed, for example, will always find themselves procrastinating their bedtime routine. And this could lead to a lack of sleep, which in turn can lead to reduced capacity for self-regulation. We need to be aware of that. We need to have that self-awareness. We need to focus. We need to discipline ourselves. Nothing can be achieved without discipline. A good disciple is somebody who follows discipline. And another reason why people procrastinate is simply anxiety. Some people are overcome by anxiety, and this I can perfectly understand, because some people might not have the coping mechanism to resist anxiety. But when someone repeatedly procrastinates on a certain task due to anxiety, this will not solve their anxiety. Instead, it will increase. It will increase the anxiety, because this can make them more anxious about dealing with it, which I said earlier can increase the likelihood that they will procrastinate on the task again in the future, as well as on related tasks. Other reasons why people procrastinate include the fear of failure. Because you failed the first time, you are afraid that if you take that task, you are going to fail again. And because you are afraid of failure, you keep procrastinating, and at the end, you just don't do it. I feel personally that the worst failure is not to try anything. The worst failure is to not try anything. It is better you try and you fail. It is better you try to complete that assignment and you fail, rather than not trying at all. Some of the greatest inventions that we are enjoying today started with multiple failures, numerous failures. I think Graham Bell, the man who invented the telephone, was interviewed, and he said he tried about 5,000 different wires. He failed. But he never gave up. He never surrendered, never gave up. And he kept trying until he got the right wire that was used for the telephone. So the failure or the fear of failure will not solve the problem. Instead, it will enhance it. It will exacerbate it. Another reasons that account for procrastination is the fear of criticism. The fear of criticism. And another reason is just avoidance, low self-esteem, a tendency to self-defeat, depression, or simply perfectionism. Some people want to do things in a perfect way, and because their work is not coming near to perfection, they put it off till tomorrow. And they keep putting it off, and they put it off until the deadline comes and passes. And this is dangerous. So we are going to listen to some commercial again, and we will come and develop the third point, which is the consequences for procrastination. Thank you.
Live entertainment, motivational speaker, and religious program. Please tune into Bula Masti radio station. To advertise your business, please contact Aisha at 604-427-0291. Your one and only Bula Masti radio station.
We are back in our studio here in Surrey, Vancouver. You are listening to Brother Thomas, your host, and this is Sunday with Brother Thomas, your favorite program. We are talking about procrastination, the dangers of procrastination. And for those who are just joining us, we would like to let you know that we define procrastination in our first point as the act of unnecessarily postponing decision or action. So, which means the problem is not the act of procrastination itself, but the act of doing it unnecessarily. And we just ended discussing the reasons why people procrastinate, and we came up with a bunch of reasons, a variety of reasons why people procrastinate. And we said the first and the major one was the deception, self-deception into thinking that we have a lot of time when actually we don't. And we explored other reasons, and there were many of them: the fear of failure, the fear of criticism, avoidance, low self-esteem, a tendency to self-defeat, depression, and many others. Now, I would like us to discuss on this third point the consequences. What are the consequences of procrastination in our personal life and in the life of the people around us? Delays are dangerous. You know the old saying. The consequences of procrastination are numerous. Procrastination cripples people and terribly affects those around them. Procrastination is usually associated with a variety of dangers and negative effects, including but not limited to increased pressure and tension. People become aggressive when they have to complete or submit an assignment at the dying minute, the last minute. They become erratic, their heartbeat increases, and this leads to worse academic performances for students and very poor output for workers. The second consequence is that procrastination impacts our mental health negatively. Not too many people can cope with the demands of working under pressure. Some people's brain would just freeze or shut down. And very soon, they start shouting at their children. They start shouting at their spouses, blaming them and blaming others for their failures, or blaming them for not being able to submit their assignment on time. That is what procrastination can do. And the third consequence, and I know somebody mentioned it before, they mentioned it in their blog, and I want to quote them: procrastination can also lead to various other types of issues. For example, procrastination can cause people to miss out on important opportunities, such as the opportunity to apply for a prestigious scholarship or the opportunity to ask out a potential romantic partner. Some people delay, they are waiting for the ideal time to propose their lover in marriage, to propose, to ask for the hand of their lover. And while they are wasting time, somebody who is more prone to action comes and overtakes them and asks the hands of their lover in marriage, and their dreams are shattered just because of procrastination. Many have missed opportunities, great opportunities. You stumble on a commercial or an advertisement on the newspaper or on the internet or on the TV. They need a candidate, and you know that your profile is the exact profile that is needed. Instead of you to apply for that job as quickly as possible, you keep putting off till tomorrow until somebody comes else and grabs the opportunity. That is what procrastination can do. We miss opportunity when we put off decision or action till tomorrow. The fourth reason or the fourth consequence of procrastination is that people who procrastinate even little tasks run the risk of procrastinating more important tasks in the future. People who procrastinate even little tasks run the risk of procrastinating more important tasks in the future. In other way around, they develop a habit and a lifestyle of procrastination, and you have no idea how much this can cripple their life. And this is very, very serious. The ancient book says in the book of Luke chapter 16 verse 10 to 14 that if you are not faithful in handling things that are small, how can you handle bigger projects? If you are not faithful in handling smaller matters, how can you handle bigger matters? So this is a very, very important issue, and we need to take it serious. We need to take it serious. And we were talking about rationalization, and those who live that lifestyle of procrastination are always rationalizing. We want to acknowledge the presence of our friend, faithful listener, Arvin Azre. Greeting from this studio, Arvin, listening to us from Facebook. Thank you for your faithfulness in following Radio Bulamasti. We are going to listen to some music or commercials, and we will be back very soon.
शिकवे हैं इससे हैं बातें हैं। हर एक सुबह नया संदेश लाता है, उगलती सूरज के साथ नया उम्मीद जगाता है, आशों से भरी एक पैगाम लेके आता है, क्योंकि हर दिन सोमवार से शुक्रवार 11 से 1 बजे मैं अरविंद आपके लिए लाता हूँ आपके नंबर 1 स्टेशन ऑफ फ्यूजन, द वॉइस ऑफ द नेशन, रेडियो bulamasti.com पर यादें नामा कार्यक्रम।
All right, we are back in our studio here in Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV. You are listening to your host, Brother Thomas, and this is your favorite program, Sunday with Brother Thomas. Today we are talking about the dangers of procrastination. If you are just joining us, I would like you to know that so far we have discussed the reasons why people procrastinate the task that they are called to complete or the assignments. And we are exploring the consequences. And we have just given 4 consequences of procrastination in our life and in the life of others. The first reason is increased pressure and tension. The second reason is the negative impact on our mental health. The third reason is, or the third consequence rather, is the fact that people miss an opportunity. They miss great opportunity when they keep postponing, for example, the opportunity to have a scholarship, or even the opportunity to ask the hand of your lover in marriage. You are in love with somebody and you have been in a relationship for many months, and the person is waiting for you to propose to them, and you keep putting off till tomorrow until somebody who is sharper comes and grabs the opportunity and overtakes you and steal the heart of your lover while you are still waiting for the perfect time to come. We need to be pragmatic. We need to be men and women of actions. We don't need to be dreamers. It's good to be a dreamer, but we need to be realistic in some situations. So we were talking about those who procrastinate and who miss an opportunity. And another consequence, we just discussed it a few minutes ago, is that there is a risk of developing a lifestyle of procrastinating. When you procrastinate even little tasks, there is a greater likelihood that in the future that would become your lifestyle. And we know that The ancient book says in the book of Luke chapter 16 verse 10 to 14 that if you are not faithful in handling smaller matters, how can you be able to handle bigger projects? How? So we want to talk about the remedy, and I think this is the most important part of this show. I don't know how you feel about this topic, if this has to do with you, if you can identify yourself in what we are talking about. I can identify myself because several times I had fallen into the trap of procrastination, but thank goodness I have been able to find my way out, and I want to share the tips or some of the common tips that you can use in order to break yourself free from the entanglement of this issue called procrastination. How to avoid the negative effects of procrastination. The first thing is you need to plan. You need to plan. They usually say that if you fail to plan, then you are planning to fail. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Manage your time wisely. The ancient book, again, the ancient wisdom, advises us in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 to 17, to redeem the time. We don't have to play or fool around with the time that was given to us, because time is very precious and it is not a renewable commodity. It's not a renewable commodity at all. Give yourself enough time and don't put yourself into the pressure of having to complete your assignment at the last minute. The second thing you can do to break free from the grip of procrastination is to motivate yourself. Motivate yourself. Think about the benefits. The benefits or the rewards you will get after completing your assignment on time. Develop some seriousness. Again, the ancient manuscript says in the book of Proverbs 18:9 that whoever is slack in his work is brother to him who destroys. Let me say it again. Whoever is slack in his work is brother to him who destroy. Meaning that you need to be serious. You need to put some seriousness into what you are doing. When you start a project, make sure that you complete it. Otherwise, there is no point starting it at all. There is no point, because the person who leaves a project unfinished for the mere reason of procrastinating is not any different from the person who destroyed that project. They are all the same according to the ancient manuscript. So when you start, finish the work. Otherwise, it will be a waste of time, a waste of energy, and a waste of money. And you don't want to be guilty of all that. Motivate yourself. Number 3, define priorities. Define priorities. Again, the ancient wisdom teaches us in Ecclesiastes 1 verse 1 that there is a time for everything under the sun. There is a time for everything. There is a time to watch your TV soap. There is a time to be on Facebook. There is a time to be on social media. There is a time for everything. But you need to make sure that you are done with your assignment first. You need to define your priorities and put them on a level. Priority number 1, priority number 2, priority number 3, priority number 4, priority number 5. You need to define your priority and stop wasting your time unnecessarily. Number 4, use appropriate anti-procrastination techniques, such as breaking large tasks into manageable pieces, which will reduce your procrastination and your anxiety level. And consequently, also the negative effect that you experience as a result of it will be eliminated. Break larger tasks into smaller tasks, into manageable pieces, and give yourself enough time to finish those tasks. Number 5, to figure out which anti-procrastination technique you should use, start by reading the guide about why people procrastinate, a very, very wonderful book which I will recommend to all our listeners. Read that guide to identify the causes of your own procrastination, and then read the guide on how to stop procrastinating, to select the anti-procrastination techniques that will be most appropriate for you. And finally, I would just urge you to pray. Procrastination is not just a mental health issue. It is also a spirit. Believe me, it is a spirit. A spirit that tells you that you have lots of time. A spirit that keeps lying you. And remember the old saying, procrastination is a thief of time. But just pretend as if you don't have enough time and start working, because procrastination, as I said earlier, is a thief of time. I pray that the Almighty would give you victory over the deceptive power of that spirit called procrastination. If you have enjoyed our today's show, please let us know. Text us at 604-427-0291, or just drop a comment in our Facebook page, and we will be delighted to read it. As we read it, we might have to come back on this, or we might have to have another show on a similar topic. But we want to thank you. I want to thank you in the name of Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV. All you faithful viewers and televiewers, thank you for listening. And you are the reason why you are here. You are the one that gives us energy to continue this show. So hope to see you very soon. Till then, take care and have a
सुपर स्पेशल संडे अरविंद के साथ सुबह जागिए एक कप चाय के साथ कुछ न्यूज, कवाली, कीर्तन और सूफी गीत को सुनिए 9 से 11 बजे। सुपर स्पेशल संडे आपके नंबर 1 ऑनलाइन फ्यूजन रेडियो स्टेशन, द वॉइस ऑफ द नेशन, radiobulamasti.com।
हर संडे शाम 6 से लेकर 8 बजे तक अमित शर्मा शो रेडियो बुला मस्ती पर, द फ्यूजन स्टेशन वैंकूवर से। आपके लिए हम लेकर आएंगे नए पुराने गीत, जोक्स, फीजी के कुछ पुरानी बातें। तो याद रखना, हर संडे को शाम 6 से 8 बजे तक साथ साथ में हंसेंगे, हंसाएंगे और